video will walk you through calculating target profit in terms of units and dollars. This is the same problem we worked through for the break-even analysis, and the third requirement here says how many barrels of beer does Anheuser-Busch have to sell if they want to make a $4 billion profit. Now they made a $2.7 billion profit, but let's say that wasn't good enough. They wanted to plan to make $4 billion worth of profit. How many would they have to sell given these the cost structure listed above? So to figure this out, I've put this data here for us together, and this is exactly the same as I laid out here for break-even analysis. If you need an understanding of how we got to this, you can go watch that video. And the per unit sales price and variable cost and contribution margin per unit stays the same. So again, I showed you how to figure that out in the break-even video. So we're gonna walk through target profit in units two ways: one using the mathematical equation, and two using the contribution margin technique. So the mathematical equation, you'll notice, is almost identical. Actually, it is identical to the break-even sales with one minor adjustment. And the minor adjustment is that our net income, we no longer want it to be zero. We have a figure in mind that we want to try to achieve. So my sales are going to be 125.7368 X. We don't know how many we're going to sell, but we know each one will sell for about $125. We know my variable costs, which are the next step in the equation, are going to be $70 each approximately. But we don't know how many we're going to sell. That's the X. That's the amount to hit that profit of $4 billion. My fixed costs are the same as they were in the break-even problem. I'm going to multiply that by 1,000,000 because this number is listed in millions, so it's actually going to be 4 billion. Now my net income, I don't want it to be zero, I want it to be 4 billion. See if I can get these right. Let's just format that to be consistent, make sure I have the right number of zeros. Okay, so that's actually 4 million. I don't have enough zeros. Okay, 4 billion. So that's what we want our profit to be. This shouldn't say break even, it should be target profit units. How many do we need to sell? So the formula would look something like this. It's going to be, we're going to sell each one for 125.7368. We don't know how many we're selling. We're going to set that equal to the variable cost of 70.054x plus my fixed cost of 4 billion, 240, 750, plus, I missed some zeros here, plus the profit now of 4 billion. We do the math, and by getting the X on one side, all the algebra, and it works out to this. Let's see if I can figure it out here. We need to sell 147, almost 148 million barrels of beer to hit a $4 billion profit. Substantially more than break even, but that's expected to hit such a huge profit. So if I wanted that in terms of sales dollars, how many dollars do I have to sell to hit a profit of $4 billion? I take the units times how much they each sell for, which is 125, and I come up with, if I format this, $18 billion worth of sales. So their sales have to go up by $2.3 billion to hit an income from operations of $4 billion. If we were to use the contribution margin technique to figure this out, it's almost similar to the break-even. The only change is we've added target profit because our net income is no longer zero. It's going to be something larger. So my fixed costs, same as they were before. Contribution margin per unit, the same as it was up here. I forgot to add a little box here. We can do that on the fly, and we'll call that target profit or net income, target profit input, and that would be the 4 billion that I want to hit. So the formula says add the two together, which is what I've done in the mathematical technique, or in the mathematical equation. It's just a different process. So I divide then by the contribution margin per unit to come up with the same 147 million, 48 million barrels of beer.